Ref Brandon and the Todd Family YouTube video, wherever you are, whatever you may be doing. Thank you so much for making Ref Brandon and the Todd Family part of your day. We always greatly appreciate it. If you jump on here live here on this Tuesday afternoon, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section down below. Make sure to give the video a like, a thumbs up. If you have not yet subscribed, please do so and share the video on all social media platforms. This is not a top 10 countdown. That'll be coming your way tomorrow. I know last week I changed things up some and did a top 10 countdown on Tuesday, but this week I'm not. It'll be back in the old faithful time slot of Wednesdays. And I say that because the list I'm fixing to give you has numbers 1 through 10, but I'm not going to do 10 through 1 so that you don't get confused and think it's a top 10 countdown, because it's not. But there's 30 teams on this list, and I saw this article yesterday and I thought, you know what, I think I'm going to talk about that. Now, I could go way more in depth and go way past 10, but in reality there's no way you're going to remember all of it. Hey there, Austin, glad to have you here as always, and more than likely you're probably not even going to remember these numbers 1 through 10, 30 teams I'm fixing to give you, unless by some chance your team is on this list. If your team is on this list, you're probably more than likely going to remember that, but everything else you're not going to remember. But it caught my attention only because growing up, spending most of my childhood in the state of Georgia, when I heard about this list and I heard about Georgia, I thought, I don't think I necessarily agree with that. But I'm only going to go numbers 1 through 10 because that's the article I found. And like I said, I could go way more than that. But when you start getting down to the teams nobody cares about, there's no point in talking about it. I'm doing fantastic, Austin. Hopefully you are as well. Have not seen your name in the comments section in a while, so glad to have you back. But it's called the Hate Pyramid, and it was released by Throne Spud, which is another one of those social media college football sites, whatever you want to call it. Hey there, Rudra. Glad to have you here. But it's called the Hate Pyramid because it's supposed to be 3 teams that pretty much either play each other every year or close to every year, and you hate each team locally. I mean, not locally, equally. So if you're one of the 3 teams on the list, you hate the other 2 schools in your pyramid the same amount. Hey there, Fenton. Glad to have you here. And Fenton, I think that's no longer a hip thing, so to speak. I asked my daughter last week, who is 12, if that was still hip, and she said, no, Daddy, that's out of date. And the only reason I asked is because somebody said it to me, and I've never been hip. I've never cared about what's in style. So I didn't know when it came in, and I didn't know when it went out. But I think it's no longer relevant in the modern day world. But if your team is on this list, let me know if you agree with the list and you hate both teams just the same. And I'll tell you why I thought about Georgia when I get to them. They are on this list, but it's numbered 1 through 10. And of course, since there's 3 teams in each number, there's a total of 30 teams on this list. Hate triangles from Throne Spud. Number 1 is Florida State, and in their pyramid is Miami and Florida. Now, I'm not from Florida, but it does seem like, as an outsider, always hearing about those 3 teams hating each other, it does seem like those 3 teams hate each other equally. If you're a Florida State fan, I don't think you hate Miami more than Florida, or vice versa. I think you hate both of them about the same. I sure have, Austin, and I've got 2 shows this weekend, another show the next Saturday, another show the next Saturday, another show the next Saturday, another show the next Saturday. So, been doing the same old thing. Number 2 is Oklahoma, Texas, and Texas A&M. Number 3 is Ohio State, Michigan, and Michigan State. Hey there, Keveron. Glad to have you here. As always, I would have thought it'd be Ohio State, Michigan, and Penn State. Maybe it's Michigan State because of the fact, Ohio State and Michigan are pretty much next door neighbors. So maybe Michigan State's, close by as well, and you hate them more because they're closer to you. But not everything on this list is about directional schools and directional things. That's just my guess, because it does seem like you would hate Penn State more than Michigan State, because for the most part, outside of 3-4 years when they had Mark D'Antonio as their coach, Michigan State's not any good. Number 4 is Alabama, Georgia, and Tennessee. And this is the one that got my attention, growing up, spending most of my childhood in the state of Georgia, because no, I'm not a Georgia fan, never have been, but it just seems like growing up there, it seems like Georgia fans hate Florida more than Alabama, and it seems like the Alabama thing didn't really start until Nick Saban became the coach of Alabama, and then it got worse when Kirby Smart, who used to be, an assistant at Alabama, came to coach at Georgia. It seemed like that ramped it up. But it seems like back in the 90s, 2000s, Georgia didn't hate Alabama, because for one, Alabama was terrible, and for two, you just didn't play them all the time. And if you did, it was just a regular season game. Whereas now, usually when you play them, it's the conference championship game or a playoff game. But if you would have asked me who would be in Georgia's hate pyramid, I would have said Tennessee and Florida, not Tennessee and Alabama. And of course, it's not Georgia Tech, even though they're an hour away, because Georgia Tech is never any good. And just like the Clemson and South Carolina rivalry is one-sided, so is the Georgia Tech rivalry. Georgia Tech might beat Georgia once every 10 years, and you're not really a rival until you beat somebody, and you're not giving the opposing teams a reason to hate you, because they know when they play you, they're going to beat you. So they might feel sorry for you, but they don't hate you. I try to watch it as much as I can, Austin. I'm still too busy to dedicate my time to watching wrestling all the time. Don't have enough time, and there's too much stuff I'm doing that's way more important than watching wrestling. Number 5, this is an obvious one, with the Army, Navy, and Air Force. Number 6, Utah, BYU, and Utah State. Number 7 is obvious, especially if you watch college basketball, because they call this the triangle during basketball season, but Duke, North Carolina, and NC State. Number 8 is Iowa, Minnesota, and Wisconsin. So the 3 schools that shuck corn all the time hate each other. Number 9. And number 9 and 10 are 2 that I wouldn't have guessed in a million years. You could have asked me to write down the hate pyramid for any of these 3 teams, and I wouldn't have got it right, because, yeah, I guess they are rivals, but it's 3 teams that are never on TV, 3 teams that are never any good, 3 teams that nobody cares about, and 3 teams that most people couldn't even tell you their school mascot, what their nickname is, for 9 and 10. Number 9 is New Mexico State, and UTEP. And number 10 is the directional schools in Michigan: Western Michigan, Central Michigan, and Eastern Michigan. So all Michigan needs is a Southern Michigan. They've got Western, Central, and Eastern. They just need Southern Michigan. So I wouldn't have guessed 9 or 10, only because, like I said, in both of those groups, it's 3 teams that are never any good, never on TV, nobody knows about them, and most people couldn't even tell you what their mascots were or what their nicknames were without getting on Google and looking it up. But that is the Hate Triangle. It's just more college football off-season talk until the season starts. Any thoughts on any of this, please feel free to let me know. Let's go ahead and get our dad joke of the day in here. I fell out of bed this morning. It was a rude awakening. And that does it for today's Ref Brandon and the Todd Family YouTube video. Until next time, it's Ref Brandon saying, just like in pro wrestling, life can be over by the count of 3.